Hello, everyone, and welcome to Boston Blue Beat New England Online Pool A. I'm here with my co-host, Toledo,
Hello, hello.
and I'm very excited for the matches that we have for you today. We've got Pool A is actually pretty exciting. We got a lot of big names here. We have Jiukin, we have DGF, we have New England's own Photon, we have Ryukasim, and first up, we're going to have New England local and regular Karenzik versus DGF.
Yes. It's going to be, I believe, a snake duo. Karenzik plays a good amount of Susanoo, and as you may already know, Stream, DGF plays a ton of snakes, generally focuses on Turumi and Izama, if I remember correctly.
And a lot of people don't know this, but Karenzik actually got their start on Turumi as well, so I know they're actually pretty excited to get to play one of the Turumi masters himself.
Oh, I didn't realize this is kind of like a master-apprentice situation. Maybe not apprentice, I don't know how much they actually talk, but kind of like fighting your idol in a sense.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good way of putting it. I know that Karenzik specifically is very much looking forward to playing this match.
Yes, it should be a very good time, and I'm really excited that we've gotten a lot of the out-of-state players to come by for this, especially in the weeks coming up lately. We've had Noctis come around, who's also in this tournament. Ziggy, DGF again, who was around for last week actually, and did pretty solidly if I remember correctly.
Speaking of people from last week, Zach One Star back in the bracket this week, I believe in Pool D.
Yes, that is going to be a really good sight to see. He came on by last week and pretty much decided to try and do his damnedest to clean house.
And he did. He, I think, pretty sure got first place with from loser's side actually, which is the first time we've had someone from loser's side win. And the person who sent him to losers, Ryukasim, is in Pool A here today.
Yes, so that should be a really good sight to see how long Ryukasim lasts over here. Generally speaking, I'm really happy that we've gotten a lot of people to come by for this. I'm a little excited. Makes me want Ryukasim to go a little farther to see if we get that like matchup again later on in like top 8. But there's a lot of heavy hitters in like each pool, so it's really hard to tell how things are going to shake out.
Yeah, there could be a lot of upsets. There's a lot of strong players in here, but I don't look at a pool and go, man, I know exactly who's going to make it out for any of them.
Yeah.
And just while we're waiting for the players to come in to go over the format for everybody, there are 4 pools an hour apart, A, B, C, and D, each of which have 10 players in them, and it's going to be 2 out, 1 on winner's side, 1 on loser's side, and then we're going to be doing top 8 tonight around 6:30.
Yes.
Pools A and C will be here on the Bones McGillicuddy channel, and then pools B and D are going to be on the Boston Blue Beat main channel. And then top 8 will be on that one as well.
Yes. So we'll probably be bothering you guys and hosting or doing whatever we need to do in order to make sure that this is all like a smooth process and everything. But either way, it's going to be a really great time. This is pretty much our biggest online tournament yet. We're capped up at around 40 players, which is really awesome to see. I think the second biggest we had was probably maybe last week where we had like 26.
I think last week we only had 24. I think 25 is our record. I don't think we've broken 25 before.
Only 25.
Only 25 for a weekly.
Yes. So it's been a really wild ride, to be honest, getting all sorts of different players here and seeing all sorts of matchups that I don't think we would necessarily get the chance to see maybe as much offline. And it's really awesome to see like a lot of people come out and show up and enjoy the stream and have like a great time. It's been a really wonderful experience, I'll say.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy with how everything's been doing for the last couple of weeks on the BBBO side of things. Just a reminder for everybody, for the next 2 weeks for the holidays, we are going to be taking a break. So this is the last BBBO tournament of the year. And then we will be picking up again on January 8th. There should be a sign-up bracket for that sometime in the next week after Neo is over. So if you want to come out and play some more, or you see what's going on here and you want to join, that'll be starting up pretty soon.
Yes. Gosh, there's just a lot of there's so much happening as of late. I think with like BlazBlue and us being able to share with a lot of other people, and it's made me really happy. I'm not gonna get mushy. It's only Pool A. I'll save that for Grands, I guess.
Toledo's, I'm not gonna get mushy yet.
Yes. Well, I can't make any guarantees. To me, it's always like I'm always surprised whenever people are kind of like, oh my gosh, like nearly tearing up. I'm like, come on, dude, you just close it. And then I feel like at the end of some of the most recent brackets we've had, I'm not gonna lie, I've had like a couple of close. Hey, don't. I'm getting looks. Look, it's just been a really good time, and I'm very excited to see what we have coming up.
In the meantime, though, let's talk about some of the other matches that we've got coming up. We have a newcomer, the Spine, who neither me or Tweedo has seen before, fighting Kuon. And then the winner of that is going to go on to fight DMV's Jiuken, who has only entered one BBBO before, because I know they were moving recently, and they weren't able to sign up for brackets. But the 1 week they showed up, they made a very, very convincing run for second place.
Yeah, it was really nuts, and he pulled out the Terumi in the middle of I think it was Grants, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, against Richter.
Yes, which was nuts. I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit because I had played with Jiuken actually somewhat recently.
A lot of Terumis in this pool specifically,
there's
right?
a lot of snakes in general. We have a lot of Susans, we have a lot of Susanoo specifically.
4 Susans, yeah.
Yes, Ice Cool, Adroth, Karenzik, and then Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't believe you almost forgot New England.
I didn't forget New England. Look, I was there. We were on the ball together. Okay, it's the way how it goes. Either way, we got a lot of snake players out here. Jiuken's really interesting actually to see whenever he transitions from Carl to other players. It was actually funny because I was talking in the stream. Because when he plays Carl, he tends to be very like patient and calm. You know, he's managing a lot. You know, you're managing 2 characters as a doll player. But once he hops on to like Terumi, that man is nuts. Like the way how he plays is extremely different, like super fast paced compared to his Carl. His Izuyoi was too. He did actually pull out.
That's right. He does have an Izuyoi now, doesn't he?
I'm not sure if he's expecting to pull it out for this tournament. I think he probably just is going to end up busting out Terumi. I wouldn't be shocked. It's pretty damn good, all things considered.
Yeah, I think depending on the matchups, we could definitely see that character. One of the other matches in this pool that I'm interested to know the results for, we have Photon versus Ryukasim. Photon is one of the commentators who's actually going to be commentating a B&D pool today, since me and Toito won't be able to. And he plays several characters, but mainly Rachel. And now Ryukasim, in my mind, is always a little bit of the NE killer, because whenever we go out to events, he tends to always beat us. Ryukasim knocked me out of one of the only IRL brackets I went to this whole year. So, and then I know previously he's knocked out Science Cat, among others.
I actually find that really funny, partially because Ryukasim also knocked me out of Winterside the last tournament I signed up in for the BBBOs. Thankfully, that was a close set. No, I'm not bragging. I swear it was close. It was like 2-1.
Oh, too close though.
It was 2-1. It was 2-1. You can check challenge. I swear. Okay, it was close. He clutched that out over me though. Ryukasim in general, I think, plays in a style that generally translates to both online and offline. Usually is able to understand like what options people like to go for, and has a pretty malleable game plan that changes to suit his needs.
He's definitely not afraid of using Hakumen's tools. I think there's a lot of Hakumen players that like there are certain parts of his kit that they don't necessarily like using, and I feel like Ryukasim rotates through a lot of them really well. And I know that that's actually like kind of a difficult matchup for Rachel, even though Rachel's like one of the stronger characters in this game. Hakumen's got a lot of good tools for dealing with her stuff specifically, so that's why I think that's like a real coin toss, because the winner of that also gets to fight the winner of Jiuken and either the Spine or Kuon.
Oh gosh, those are both going to be really tough matches to see actually. The Spine I think is going to be rather interesting, mostly because as far as I'm aware, they were my player, but there's actually very, very little footage of them out there if you were to check Keep On Blazing and look at a couple of other resources on there available. And it'll be very cool to see. Kuon also hasn't been playing quite as much, at least as far as we've seen on stream. Who's an Izanami player, for those who are unaware. I'm not entirely sure how Izanami Mai would even pan out. I feel like that's probably, like, I don't know if it's bad, but it can't be easy for Izanami. Like, it's not one of her good matchups, I would imagine. I think that's fair to say. I mean, Bits, at least on paper, I'd imagine just, like, the very surface level, Mai's drive being a really good way to handle Izanami setting her Bits, just because you basically force her to move in an awkward way, and she already has, like, a lot of impetus, I guess, to move in and like capitalize off of using Bits. Meanwhile, Mai can just super jump, like JD, call back, and then do a flip or something, depending on if it hits or on block.
Yeah, Mai's very mobile and with good buttons for kind of covering the spaces that Izanami can stand at. So that'll be an interesting one as well.
Yeah, I'm imagining that one's probably going to be a very good match to see over here. And then let's see what other matches are around in for bracket, if I remember correctly.
For this pool,
yes.
It's going to be after DGF and Karenzik. They're going to fight the winner of Orgard and Uzumaki. Uzumaki's in this pool. That's right.
Oh yes. Okay, that's actually Orgard versus Uzumaki is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if they've actually played.
They've played a couple of times. I think actually Uzumaki knocked him out last week, if I remember correctly. I could be off on that.
I wouldn't be entirely shocked.
It might go the other way around. I'm pretty sure they fought last week though.
Yeah, Or has been an interesting case as of late. They're a new player from Indiana. Yes. and they have been playing with us for a long time, actually. Now,
Pretty much as soon as we opened it up, I want to say like they were one of the first out-of-staters that started regularly attending BBBL.
Yeah, they've been with us for about a month. They've been doing a really great job. They've been transitioning between New and Lambda a good amount, as far as I'm aware. I think they're still in a bit of a character crisis. If I remember correctly, last week they actually had switched between both of them. If I remember correctly, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely played an equal amount of Lambda and 13.
So yeah, that'll be I think that'll be a really.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I forgot. There was a game between D-Wishes and Auragard first. I don't have the pool in front of me, so I was just trying to remember. So D-Wishes, I believe. I don't think I've seen them on stream before.
I got the chance to commentate their matches. Actually, they played Kagura. If I remember correctly.
That could be kind of a nasty matchup for both players because it's always kind of hard for Kagura to maneuver around the the projectile characters. But he does have tools for it, and once he gets in, he hurts hard. And 13 does not have a lot of health, yeah. So there's a decent chance we don't get to see Auragard versus Uzumaki.
Yeah, that should be really good. But first, we might want to get ahead with the match we've got right now coming up, which should be really, really fun as we're going to get into it. It's going to be Karenzik and DGF once again. Susanoo versus Terumi, barring any crazy changes?
Yeah, I think we'll probably see that, unless Karenzik decides they want to try and run the mirror.
Honestly, I've seen enough character switches during Boston Blue Beat that I am still anxious before people choose characters.
Yeah.
Ryuji-sama actually had gone changed
Tao Kaka, Bang, yeah.
Tao Kaka and Bang, it was crazy. Anyways, so we are back over here with our first match of Boston Blue Beat New England Online, with, again, Karenzik and DGF. I am super stoked to see how this is going to start up. I'm willing to bet this is literally just DGF backs up and then Karenzik just mashes 5B.
I mean, there's a lot of good reasons to hit Susan 5B at round start. That button's kind of hard to deal with for a lot of characters.
Yeah, I'm well aware. You hit me with it a lot.
Don't tell anyone I have a Susan. It's a secret.
Well, it's an open secret at this point.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Round start, both players opting to back up.
Yeah, pretty respectful start right there. Ooh, good to see.
Taking the stock, so now Karenzik has DP available to them, but getting anti-aired with an excellent Terumi 6A.
Yeah, DP is pretty good in this matchup, I would say, because Terumi loves to run away with momentum, but Susan DP, it's a really great range, and I think it's very good to force Terumi to kind of back up and hesitate on offense.
And they're,
unless you just decide to bait it out and just walk up and barrier?
Probably a smart time to use Burst, I think. Saving yourself from the big punishes. Ooh, catches with an Air 6B, and it resets into grab, though.
Okay. Going into a basic combo here. Going to unlock God Press. Oh, goodness.
Hey, God Press Rapid does a lot of damage right now, but getting tagged in neutral by Terumi.
I'm actually kind of shocked right now. Okay, that's the first usage of meter DGF has gone for it. I feel like there were a couple of opportunities to spend meter, but actually going to super.
Yeah, I think he's dead here.
You know what? Actually, I feel like I'm literally just being proven wrong. While I'm watching him, while he just spends the 100 meter at that time and just secures the kill.
DGF being very respectful of the DP. I think he baited it on all 3 wake-ups there and managed to still get his pressure going.
Yeah, he's been playing relatively calmly so far right here. Nothing really kinetic and crazy right now.
Ooh, resets him for no teching. Gotta watch out for that.
Got a lot of meter to work with, 100 meter already. Don't think he's going to spend super yet, but he has a lot to play with here, especially with OD on the table.
Karenzik does have burst, so as long as DGF doesn't pop OD, he's not dead, but next hit does kill.
Oh, for sure. Ooh, gets the first hit. Ooh, resets into overhead. Pops overdrive, and this should be the kill. Goes into super, yup, and he will take the first game.
Takes first game with a perfect. That's looking pretty clean from DGF. Karenzik got a couple of good hits in round 1, but I feel like once DGF ran his offense, Karenzik got a little bit panicky, and then DGF was able to take advantage of that really well. So if we see some adjustments like that, I do think the next round could go very different.
Yeah, I think definitely a good part of that is also just the way how maybe Karenzik isn't used to dealing with certain styles in neutral, because I feel like DGF got a lot of opportunities to just straight up run in and just start his offense. And while Susan's buttons may be slow, they do cover a great range, especially ranges that Terumi likes to be at. I know, of course,
be at.
Stop, please. The point being that Susanoo, 5B, and 5C, and 6B especially cover some really great ranges in order to prevent Terumi from running in. Although we did see a bit of like, JD usage, which I think covers a pretty good angle, especially given that Susan 2C takes a while to get its invuln.
Terumi JD is a pretty strong option. It's kind of slow, but it does cover a lot more space than a lot of other characters can easily in the air.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if he tries to bully his way in with that a bit more. We didn't see... He definitely opted to use it a couple times, but seems to be really balancing and keeping his approaches on a nice rotation.
I feel like we saw him use the JDs more as like when he backed up, he would use JD to cover his own retreat, which I think is pretty strong.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea there, generally speaking. Especially on barrier, you just get pushed out super far, and it's just like, alright, whatever.
Alright, Krenzik checking with 5A round start, not really catching anything. Tries to go for the 5B, but DGF jumps over it and hits that JD, just like we were talking about.
Yeah. Resets with 6B, and here we go. RC. Yeah, ooh, does it a little bit early to catch people going. A lot of Terumis like to RC on the last hit of 6C, so doing that early will definitely catch people off guard. And Krenzik going for the DP unlock again, which is still very good in this matchup, in my opinion.
Blocking Terumi, great jump out, starting his own turn from Krenzik, getting him to block the 6B, mashing him, keeping him in pressure, getting anti-aired out of the reset, but no confirm until the reset from DGF.
Ooh, wants to pop the super. This makes a lot of sense. This is good corner carry in general. Oh, it's a little awkward. Oh, wow, what kind of confirm was that? They just confirmed with 5A off of the JC.
Yeah, that was really impressive, but he doesn't quite get a kill off of it, but I mean, he still takes the round cleanly with the perfect.
If you take the round, you take the round, especially with the perfect.
Krenzik almost with his OD back, so he's not quite out of it. He will definitely get it back this round. But DGF sitting at full OD, which is very scary for Terumi, because it basically gives him 100 meter if he can get it confirmed.
Yeah, and it definitely makes Susan's OD, I think, a little bit less of a comeback factor in just the pure sense of being able to lock him out of something and just blow him up and keep it as like a one-touch game.
Yeah, I think DGF doing really good on defense, but ooh, good mash from Krenzik, but get their overhead blocked, and now DGF's going to punish that.
Yep, we're going to get some really good corner carry here. What's the mix-up? Starting up. Oh, catches the delay tech once again. Opts to jump in the air, respects the OD, but still just clicks JC right afterwards. Krenzik, not really great seals for this situation. Has sword.
DGF popping super, I'm guessing mostly to run down the timer on OD, honestly.
I think so. That's a pretty good idea right there. Has OD himself to just blow up whatever Krenzik decides to opt with, but just opting to just sit in a bear. Ooh, great throw tech there.
Good reaction from DGF. Krenzik opting to keep his pressure very safe.
Oh my goodness, that 4D!
Counter assaulting out. Ooh, catches him air to air.
Ooh.
Gets it confirmed. Smacks him on the ground.
Doesn't
commit to anything in OD, but gets reversal supered. That's going to be it. DGF takes it 2-0.
That was tragic. I think Krenzik was a bit nervous about it. We saw the barrier flash right before the DP even came out, but just didn't commit to it.
Yeah, I think they saw the OD pop and they were like, I think I'm going to take the risk here and hit a button. And sometimes when you take the risk, it just does not pan out.
Yeah, so it goes. Susan definitely has a lot of health to work with, but when it's Terumi and OD, that's not always the case necessarily.
Yeah, Terumi and OD can be very scary because he also gets like a lot of damage there. And I know DGF particularly is very good with those confirms.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, after seeing that 5A confirm, I have full belief in like what they're usually up to. I'm still like, of all like the small like little things in that matchup, that 5A is just still stands out to me as just being like kind of nuts.
So I think coming up next, it looks like we're going to have the Spine and Jiyuken.
Ooh, this should be really good.
I'm really excited to see this. I haven't seen the Spine play before, and I always love to see new players play. And Jiyuken is always a treat, personally. You don't see Karo play on that level very often.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Oh my goodness. Having been in the blender myself against Jiyuken, it's like, it's so respectable, like the way how he plays, but I'm also like, oh my god, if you get hit with the mix, I'm gonna feel terrible, but I don't want to be too biased.
I am curious how the Carl Mai matchup is. Mai is one of those characters that gets to kind of bully a lot of people with her buttons, and Carl's neutral, while not bad, kind of lacks in a few places, so I feel like that's something that maybe Mai could take advantage of.
Yeah, I think one of the big aspects that Mai has is honestly her mobility. I'm really curious to see how Jiyuken decides to handle 214 in particular. Because in theory, and this is mostly conjecture, I do think that 214 would be a really great option to avoid certain sandwich situations just because of the invuln that she gets.
It's true. She gets foot invuln starting on frame 1, and then starting on frame 4 she gets, I believe, full invuln?
Yes. And the other aspect of it also is that the only doll move that Carl can really opt for, if I remember correctly, that hits low is not 2D, it's 3D, which is the low that's usually seen in unblockables, the sweep.
Yeah.
Carl also has several several lows available. 6B, if I remember correctly, 63B. I might be bugging out there on certain commands, but he has access to like a lot of lows and pressure. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get the Terumi?
I think. Well, let's see. Button settings? Button settings.
Oh my goodness, I swear.
Amane.
Oh,
okay.
he also has the Amane.
His Amane is very... Jukin might be one of the best Amane players, almost by default.
Honestly, yeah. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot to mention the Amane. He played it before, actually, to like really great effect against Jackie Sparkles before.
Yes.
So he has a really good understanding of Amane.
This is definitely like... I feel like this is like a I don't want to play Carl in this matchup kind of pick. That's what this reads as to me. Obviously, I'm not Jukin. Maybe he just woke up and was like, it's the Amane day today.
I'm going to assume that he wants to be able to handle Mai's movement in neutral. And I think Amane is a pretty good choice for having if you have a strong neutral game to kind of figure out how people like to move and abuse that.
Yeah, Amane does have really long range buttons, but they are a lot higher commit than a lot of Mai's buttons. So Jukin's kind of got to be on the game here. Ooh, catching Spine early, trying to throw a spear, getting their pressure going. And Jukin's and Amane in general are scary because if he guesses your tech right, you get full drill, and then he gets to blow you up.
Yeah, drill level 3 is
good OD from the Spine.
Yeah, that was really good, actually. Okay, we're going to get massive corner carry off here. Great 236B loops over here.
Coast to coast. Let's go. Drops the combo, though. Jukin getting out, J2 being to the ground, getting hit by the spear, but no confirm from that spacing, it seems like.
I'm really curious to... Ooh, great juncture pressure. Nice resets over here. Oh, tried to go for the tick throw, but unfortunately doesn't quite get it. Throw whiffs, but not a huge punish over here.
Jukin getting a lot of hits, but having a hard time confirming them because of the situations. Spine doing a pretty good job on defense.
Ooh, okay.
No punish quite. Ooh, but get anti-aired by Amane. Getting hit, knocked down. What's the setup going to be? Doesn't catch anything, but catches him trying to throw a spear, it looks like?
I think so, yeah. So, one aspect... Ooh, 6D, this is rough now.
Yeah. With the amount of barrier that the Spine had left, I think they were actually just checkmated from that position.
Honestly, yeah. They could use one of the reversal supers and attempt a guard point through it.
Mai only has one, and she will still take chip during that, if I remember correctly. So I think she would still die if that happens.
Oh my goodness, I'm actually not too sure. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Ooh, okay.
Bursting out, that makes sense. I think that stops Amane from getting too much stuff going on, but just getting caught out in neutral again.
Yeah. I'm curious to see, great combo right here. Alright, a little bit of corner carry, but it's looking a little rough. I'm not entirely sure. So one of the big aspects of Amane's game plan that I think gets a little slept on by people unfamiliar with the character is that a lot of his
good rollout into crush trigger starter from the Spine?
I have not seen that before. Oh my goodness, good ender. Up, drop down. Ooh, doesn't call out the roll. Ooh, trying to go for the throw, but Jukin opting to jump. Amane's in general prefer to, I think, fuzzy jump, lacking reversals.
Setting up the drill again.
Oh, God.
Look at all that chip. Ooh, base the counter assault.
That's death.
Yeah, that's death.
Oh, that's rough.
Jukin takes game 1. That's one of the things that's really scary about Amane. Once he has drill 3, he actually does more damage on chip than he does on hit. So you have to watch out for that. If you don't have barrier to spend, your life pool just gets melted. Because you can put a lot of them together relatively tight. It's mostly just like a frame trap, which is something that Mai might have a hard time getting out of.
Yeah, I think you definitely get blown up by Amane, just given a lot of his tools that he can pull out with and just use.
And it looks like Tux in the chat, who I know has a lot of experience with the matchup, is saying that yes, Mai will die to chip in that scenario.
Yeah, okay, that definitely makes sense then. I'm really curious to see how much the Spine opts to commit in neutral. I think a lot of the callouts that we noticed were just getting caught out for doing JD with a lot of Amane C normals. I think one of the things that Mai can opt for a lot more is probably opting to use certain air normals a little bit in order to catch Amane's buttons. Some of Amane's buttons, like JB for example, actually have a massive hurt box attached to them. You can actually hit the scarf.
Yeah, it can be. It's really interesting to see counter pokes on that. You can actually DP from full screen and have it hit. One of the things, though, is that it's really hard to get Amane matchup experience. So I don't actually know how much the Spine has played this matchup before.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see how that pans out. I want to see the Spine opt to use a couple of C normals and see how that works out. I know my C normals aren't necessarily just always disjoint, but they're pretty big hitboxes to throw out there.
Ooh, gotta jump out of those, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Confirm's a little weird, but yeah, any drill at this point is going to be very scary. Good air stall from the Spine, catching Jukin. But now Jukin gets to start their turn with almost 3 drill.
Ooh, opts to use the overdrive.
Overdrive's the grab. No big punish. It gets EA'd, though.
That's really great. Drain some of the EA time from Amane. Oh, called out the 2D right there, anti-air. Great job from the Spine already. Ooh,
hits him with the overhead. That looks like the Spine's round.
Yeah, and that was a very fast match, actually. That was what?
30 seconds? Good turnaround, especially because the Spine didn't get anything like that on the first game going. They kind of got their game plan started a lot more. I think maybe they're getting a read on Jukin's habits. Getting anti-aired on the ground.
Oh, that's rough.
So yeah, a lot of these situations for Amane, he kind of just makes a guess, and then if he's right, he gets level 3 drill like right there.
Oh my god, I hate G2B so much. It's such a bully normal. Oh, whiffs the air throw, but unfortunately, unfortunately for the spine, he still ends up in the corner. Calls. Oh, that was a really great setup in the 6D actually. Has the level 2 drill, so he can pop level 3 very quickly, and Mai has to be on the ball, otherwise he'll go into stance and build it up anyway. And right there, builds up the stance into level 3. Ooh, okay, great spear usage in order to keep him on.
Doing a really good job baiting the drive from Jiyukin here. Ooh, I was going to say that looks like it's going to be death, but TRM.
TRM? I think he input the throw tech. Either way, he would have probably got throw counted.
This is going to hurt. With all these resources, Mai could kill off of one more good hit. Opting for super while you're in OD, that makes sense.
Yep. Ooh,
Super's out. Very hard to punish that in that situation.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that movement there from the command dash and command jump. Oh my god.
Jiyukin getting a catch, but that's going to be a hard hit to confirm.
That's a rough drop.
And J2B is taking the rounds. Spine has a small burst advantage, but not something that I think will meaningfully affect the next round.
Yeah, I think right now what we're seeing in the adaptation from the second round there is Jiyukin's getting a lot better at noticing the way how the spine has adapted and tries to approach, especially when it comes to using the flip and knockdown right there with the shockwave. He jumps out.
Wow, did you see that 2C?
That was really smart. Yeah, opted and hit the hitbox there. Ooh, shockwave. This is a pretty good start if I remember correctly. This is going straight to corner. With great Oki, calls out the roll right there. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, wanted to trap and enforce strike throw.
But Jiyukin's already hit a button. Could this be death?
No,
I don't
this
think
isn't death.
so.
OD is on the table, so he has to bait this burst coming up. Ooh, except gets the OD out of him. Oh, this is going to kill.
Oh, I think Jiyukin tried to OD through that grab, but they were actually just a little bit too early there, so they didn't get what they were looking for. Spine takes to game 2. It's now 1-1.
Yeah, that was a really great showing from the spine to adapt here. I'm very curious to see if Jiyukin opts to change characters. I actually don't really... I kind of have some doubts. I think he'll stick Amane.
I would imagine that probably just more comfortable with that at this point. I'd be interested to see them bust out the Carl.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how that pans out, but I think the spine has shown a lot of great movement options, and I think that it would apply to Carl a lot, especially when you want to avoid Brio, for example, from Carl. I don't think we'll see a character.
Jiyukin's thinking about it. He's got 3 characters to pick. 4, I guess, if you pick Izuyoi. But I think he said he wasn't going to play Izuyoi in bracket, but I guess we'll see, right?
People say many things.
Opts to stay as Amane.
I am correct. I'm going to hold that over your head for the rest
All
of
right. I'm just trying to keep the options open.
No, I think it's very fair. We've seen a lot of different character switches in general over the past couple of weeks. And for Jiyukin in particular, who plays each of these characters at a high level and switches on the dime very well, honestly, it ain't a bad guess to make.
I think there's even something to say for switching to a bad matchup just to, like, change the momentum on your opponent. Because you play against Carl very different than how you play against Amane.
Yeah. Well, we got Amane now, so let's see how this pans out for round start.
Run up 2 just straight into anti-airs. Let's go.
I think he wanted to call out maybe like a...
Ooh, catches him trying to throw the spear. That was a weird hit, though. I can't blame Jiyukin for not confirming.
That was awkward. Ooh, Ops sees the burst early. Last game they...
I think that was supposed to be an OD. They've been trying to OD out of that 6B on block a lot, and I think they just did it too late.
Got the tipper. That would not have confirmed otherwise. But unfortunately, Jiyukin manages to go into stance and get level 2 drill. Okay.
The spine getting hit low there. Something that a lot of people don't know is that Amaya's only overhead is like JA.
Yeah, it's literally only JA. Everything else is actually just either a mid or a low. So it's really good for...
Ooh, calls out the jump back spear toss. This is going to hurt with level 3 drill.
Not quite.
This could... Ooh, I was going to say, I think it might have been there with an RC, but...
Somehow got the 5B and then autocorrect. Oh,
trade with the reverse hitbox on Amane dive, trading with my dive. That was wild.
I don't think I ever see dive trade like that, like ever.
That was really interesting. Ooh.
Still gets the confirm on that awkward hit.
Gets into the corner, catches with dive again. This is a good starter here with it.
Yeah, especially, okay, good Oki. Calling out the roll. Jiyukin opting to roll almost every single time, I think.
Yeah,
when he's put in the corner.
It's been working out pretty well for him. I mean, keep doing an option until it stops working, right?
Yeah, I can't blame him.
Oh, that's kind of awkward. I wonder if some of these routes are harder on Mai, because I know Mai's got kind of a weird hitbox.
I'm not entirely
sure. Oh, that resets! No! That's so much damage here!
The biggest thing... Okay, yeah, I agree with that burst 100%.
I actually think that you gotta hold that there. The most of the damage from that combo is already done, and Jiyukin's already got level 3 drill. If you make him use it more, if he overheats the drill, that might actually be stronger for you.
I guess, but... Oh... Okay.
To get out, gets caught in the air, and Jiyukin cleans it up for round 3, taking it 2-1. That was a great match, though.
Yeah, that was a really good showing from the spine. I really do I think that match was just really, really fun to see here. The spine definitely making a lot of adaptations for neutral in there that we saw, but Jiyukin, of course, also making adaptations in kind and really managing to make the most of it right there.
Yeah, Jiuken taking round 1, and then Spine adapting, and then Jiuken adapting right back. I think those were all 2-0s in the individual rounds, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Each individual game was 2-0. And
So-
then the sorry, as you were saying.
I was going to say, on winner's side right now, after that, we have Jiuken versus, it looks like Photon beat Ryukasim. And then Uzumaki beat Origard, who beat Dwishes. So it's going to be Uzumaki versus DGF and Jiuken and Photon. And we're going to get Uzumaki and DGF on screen first.
Ooh, that should be a pretty good match to see right there. That's going to be another Susanoo versus Terumi matchup.
DGF only fighting the Susans. They're getting the NE Susan Gauntlet. We've had 4 Susans every week for a while now. So
Yeah, I swear it's if it's not the out-of-state invasion, it's honestly the snake invasion.
yeah, the snakes come in and they keep trying to take our lunch money.
I swear to gosh, yes.
But this time it's $300 of lunch money, so you know.
This ain't no regular like lunch money. This is some like private.
This is
school.
EX lunch.
This is like I'm eating caviar at like school for some reason because I'm just that fancy.
So Uzumaki is a very patient player, one of NE's stronger players, one of the defenders of NE, I would say.
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of Terumi experience, I don't think, but I feel like everyone, like we've had Terumis in NE, but a lot of them haven't been playing on the level that DGF has, and Uzumaki doesn't travel out of state a lot, so unless they've been playing Terumis in their own time that I don't know about, could be a relatively new matchup for them.
So do you think this will end up being more of like I guess to rephrase, I think, do you believe that this is going to be a lot of knowledge checks, at least coming in from DGF to see if Uzumaki's more familiar with this matchup, or do you think this is still going to end up getting more of a player versus player situation very quickly?
I think at this point where the winner of this gets to go to the top 3 of the pool, which gives you a very, very good chance of actually making out, I feel like at this point you don't want to take risks, especially versus Susanoo, who if he guesses right, just explode you off of almost anything.
We've all seen plenty of clips of Susanoo's clicking 6B or backdash 6B and then just running hands with people, so I would not be entirely shocked.
6B is the literal run hands button. He runs those hands forward. He covers almost the whole screen with that.
Yeah, backdash 6B is actually like such a strong option. I hate it, but I respect it.
Yeah, if you got a tool like that, you should use it.
Yeah, especially when it's +4, which is a really good option. I think DGF, actually speaking of general Susanoo offense, I think DGF has a really, really great fundamental defense, especially when it comes to his usage of certain system mechanics like instant barrier and barrier. So I would expect DGF's defense to actually be pretty key to how he succeeds in this game.
I think that'll be true for both characters. These are both very momentum-based characters. Terumi really needing meter to get most of his options online, and Susanoo needing to get unlocks to get some of his dirtier tricks and more of his damage. So I think it's really going to come like whoever wins neutral first is going to have that advantage for the rest of the round. So I think like neutral is where this is going to come down. You're going to have the first couple of interactions, and that's really going to set the pace.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And I'm really curious to see how they decide to set the pace here, because we saw in the last set, DGF opted to play very defensively and patiently for like each of his game starts against Forensic. You really didn't want to chance it with certain buttons, because Susanoo can hit 5B round start, which is a really powerful option in order to either A, force people to block, or B, catch out certain jumps. So I'm really curious to see how that pans out. I think Uzumaki will probably stick to like a rather standard beginning or back up, because again, as you were mentioning, you don't really want to lose momentum to Terumi because he will run your pockets given a chance.
One of the things that Uzumaki is really strong at as a player is he's pretty good on defense, and he's very, very good at mixing up his options. So you'll see him in the same situation, consistently changing up what he's doing to call out what his opponent did last time. So he tends to be really good at staying a layer ahead of his opponent. I want to see how DGF lines up against that.
Yeah, that'll be really good to see how the layering happens. Of course, most of the time you want to consider, start at layer 0, move up as needed. But I'm really curious to see if both players will end up jumping up like a layer or 2, depending on how some of these round starts pan out. At least the first round, especially.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see. And I feel like neutral here is like maybe a little Susanoo favorite. I feel like it's a lot easier for him to get stuff off of his pokes.
I think it depends on the seals, because Terumi has a lot of speed and mobility to work with in order to contest certain options, and 6A is a really great anti-air, and he has a couple of things to blow up certain attempts if he calls it out.
I guess it depends on who really has to approach. None of these characters really guess anything just by going or without going in.
Yeah, and looks like we got a pretty defensive round start here. DGF gets the first hit, but doesn't end up making much of it, even on that counter HAD. Ooh, calling out with the stagger 2As right here.
Trying to backdash on Wake Up, doesn't get anything, but doesn't give DGF too much here. DGF with a lot of meter, but not really a lot of Susanoo's health missing.
And once again, I think that's just an option that DGF likes to go for, honestly, and are seeing a little early on that 6C right here.
And then doing the walk-up grab, that was kind of filthy.
Yeah, that was strong. Ooh, +2, you gotta hold that.
I don't think you get much off that OD, but if any hit here lets Susan get pretty good confirmed.
Unless you get the OD coming in from Tarumi with 100 meter, this might even kill out.
I'm pretty sure this will, as long as DGF doesn't drop it.
Let's see. Stomp.
Susanoo's got a lot of health, but I don't think he's got this much.
And he got plenty of meter to work with on the side of Tarumi.
All 100, so he gets the special ender too. Yep, and then Uzumaki's dead. DGF gets a perfect round 1.
That was 6K straight up. That was literally like 4 neutral exchanges and then just DGF running it.
Yeah, ODing through the overhead is really strong because Tarumi doesn't really need like specific counter hits or anything to get his game plan going. Once he has meter, he just gets to do big damage on everything.
Yeah, especially in the corner where you can utilize pretty much most of your tools in order to like start a combo and make something happen.
Uzumaki keeps trying to mash out on this offense. Almost gets the trade, but it doesn't work out favorably for him. Opts to burst out, gets level 2 tackle. Doesn't do too much. Once you get level 3, though, you can start using it for confirms.
Yeah. I will say level 2 tackle is at least decent in certain neutral exchanges if you want to like combo off a straight hit, but it's really not that much damage.
And we're not playing a lot of neutral right now because DGF is running this offense.
Jeez, 6C. Doesn't even decide to do it. Kills the next hit, so might as well.
Oh, it gets the 2A mash, and that... Oh! Drops it, I spoke. He didn't even give me a chance to curse him, but he wins the round anyway. DGF losing only a smidgen of health between the 2 rounds. This looks pretty convincing for him. I hope Uzumaki can adapt.
Yeah, did you see that the little thing that DGF did? Uzumaki decided to barrier and opt for 3C, which is, I think, a really good call-out tool in a couple of situations. And DGF recognized that and immediately went for J2D in order to hop over it and still continue his offense. That was kind of crazy.
I thought that was good. They also did the same thing to call out Susanoo 2A. Susanoo 5A is kind of an 8-frame button, so a lot of them opt not to mash it. So he did the low crush move to hit him for it, which is... And he didn't quite get the confirm off of it, but then he got the next one with the 3C that you were talking about.
Yeah, I think doing something like that definitely is kind of a signal if I'm on defense that... Whoa, this guy's watching out for my options, and he's selecting certain things that are relatively risky. Like you said, if Susanoo opts to 5A, that's not bad for him at all. He can get a pretty decent confirm, at least pop a seal off of that.
Yeah, Susanoo 5A is pretty good, too. It's very safe. Even though it has a slow startup, it only has 6 frames of recovery.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually safer to mash if it's going to whiff than 2A, and it doesn't auto-cancel into itself, which is a blessing and a curse, because it does stop you from just, like, whiffing it out in the air a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But it does mean that you can't whiff it out in the air a bunch of times to catch your opponent.
You don't accidentally mash 5A to check and all that.
Yeah, exactly. You can just, and it's also +3, so even if your opponent blocks it, it's a very, very good situation for you.
All right, I'm expecting another rather calm neutral start. I think if I'm Uzumaki, I want to still get a little bit more information and try to run my game immediately.
5A to try and catch. Ooh, and he gets a 5A, and then here we are. Seals unlocked. Got wheel level 1.
Pretty good unlock to get at the jump. Definitely another mix-up option and helps him confirm with the certain air hits.
Uzumaki playing pretty safe on defense, which is interesting because DGF does not have the meter for any real reversals right now. I guess the OD through the overhead last time scared him.
I think he's a little shook from
Ooh, great anti-air though.
Yeah, I think at this point, DGF might... I think Uzumaki's recognizing that DGF wants to play relatively defensively, and I think he wants to opt to use his buttons in order to challenge approaches like that, with the 5B on the dash-up right there.
Uzumaki trying to keep his offense really safe. Oh, as soon as he goes for that overhead, DGF is ready.
Yep, switches sides. Oh, right, in OD.
Still switches sides, resets. That was dirty. I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
I have no idea, but that was saucy nonetheless.
It's kind of filthy.
Yeah.
If he didn't do it on purpose, maybe he should in the future.
I guess so, yeah.
ODing on Wake Up here doing the DP, and then this is going to hurt.
Gets called out for it. Fatal counter on the 6C.
Can he die from this?
I don't
think so. Maybe not without OD?
Nah, it doesn't look like it. Requires OD for that. Oh, again, opted for that J2D right there.
Catches him jumping out. Ooh, this is big, because now he's one hit from death.
Level 3 tackle. Oh,
drops and gets Air Masenga. That's a really hard option to deal with for Susanoo.
Yeah, I'd imagine. 2C's head invuln is not nearly fast enough to contest with that on reaction.
Yeah. I think 2C is like frame 10, and Masenga's in the air is like, what, 5 frames?
I don't know. It's extremely fast. You would have to basically do it preemptively, and even then, if it whiffs, that's
Ooh, great 5B counter poke from Uzumaki, really stopping DGF's run up. Gets DP, actually hits with the overhead.
Oh, 6C, no overdrive this time.
TRM. And we got some seals to work with. Doing a nice route here, and DGF almost dead.
Grand Viper and Wheel unlock. Next hit easily kills.
Going for safe pressure.
Ooh, Grand Viper RC?
Grand Viper RC gets his pressure going. DGF not falling for it, though.
Yeah, I think he wanted to go for the instant overhead right there, but DGF still blocking well. Ooh,
Trades with the J2D. That was interesting.
I think he threw out JA. I'm not entirely sure there.
Ooh, getting tagged by the last of the 60. Bursting out. That means that Uzumaki is not going to get that resource back this round and isn't going to get it for quite a bit if he manages to make it to the next round, which it looks like he will with that stray 5A hit.
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say I'm not sure if I agree with that burst, but considering the fact that it's possibly last round right there, I can't really fault him for going for that burst there.
I can understand why you would want to, but yeah, I think if you can avoid using that, it's usually better.
Yeah.
Really conditioning DGF to respect this 3C, which is interesting. Oh, that had
so,
to be OD.
That is really not great for DGF, but that's so good for Uzumaki.
That really evens it up. Both of these characters very unlikely to get their burst back this round unless it goes for a long time.
However, Uzumaki still has the chance to pop Active Flow, which is really big because it means that he can possibly win in like maybe about half or even less of a neutral, like one less neutral exchange entirely.
That's true, and Uzumaki does have DP and 50 meter to actually rapid it.
Oh,
I think DGF tried to do a barrier dash cancel and just got guard crushed, unfortunately. But that's going to be a big deal for Uzumaki.
Ooh, awkward run there. I think he wanted to seal the deal on the reset there with the 6C to catch a roll, but it just didn't work out very well.
Ooh, great 2B counter mash, but wasn't ready for the confirm, unfortunately. Yep. Still run up, get his turn started, doing these overheads.
6C a lot. I can't blame him, especially when it works and when awkward confirm. Yep. Oh, that's such a good 5B.
Wheel is actually really hard for a lot of characters to deal with. I think one of the things that's kind of tricky about it is it's visually on the screen for so much longer than it's actually active. So if you see it, you can actually hit a button if you didn't block it, and he can't hit anything in time.
Yeah.
But you'll see it, and you're like, oh, I don't want to stick my hitbox into that, and you kind of just have to.
Yeah. The other part of that also makes it difficult, and I feel like discourages approaches, is because if you get hit by the pillar, he's plus.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that you got to watch out for. If you block the body part itself, you are actually plus, so you can start your own turn, or usually even punish him.
Yeah, straight up. If I remember correctly, that's generally how a way to deal with Wheel. Perhaps if you think they're going to use it to just run up and barrier break, which I think is a pretty good option, especially given Terumi's run speed.
Yeah. Anyway, we're on round 3 here. 1-1 for both players.
Yes.
Uzumaki making some good adjustments last time, and maybe is he getting the read on DGF, or is DGF going to be able to adapt back and clean it up?
I'm not entirely sure. I felt like DGF was on the back foot for the last round especially.
Yeah, I feel like Uzumaki's been doing a good job kind of covering neutral a little bit better. I think maybe he might be figuring out Terumi.
Definitely a lot more confident with that round start there. Neutral jump JB, I believe. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, good 2B, blocks the overhead, and didn't quite get a punish, but does catch Uzumaki low there.
Yeah, does get Orb, which isn't the greatest seal, but a really, really good way to end pressure safely, because you can push out people with Orb, especially if they opt to use Barrier.
Uzumaki using OD to get access to DP out of that setup, and then unlocking DP.
Ooh, wow, really patient there. I'm so shocked that he didn't get impatient to pop the JC on the way down.
Good blocks from Uzumaki. Counter assaults out. He's like, I don't want to deal with this.
Ooh, gets this.
Shoots him.
Oh, he got Wheel off of that too, which is really good right there.
Yeah, Wheel is a really scary option, especially because DGF does not have his OD again.
Ooh. It was a regular block on the 236A, so Suicide's not necessarily that minus, actually.
Catches him with the neutral jump JB. This isn't going to kill, but it is going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, next hit kills straight up. And are we going to see a reset? Oh! That
was kind of dirty.
That was dirty.
I got hit. I got hit twice. That was so good.
I got hit, I got mad, put down the controller, and said, actually, I understand.
DGF mad too. He's starting his pressure right away. He's like, block this, hold it, we trading.
At this point, I think DGF is saying, you know what? I need to start my offense. I do not want to deal with whatever Uzumaki has on deck. And that's working out pretty damn well.
Keeping Uzumaki in the corner, kind of blowing him. Uzumaki opting to burst. Not going to get active flow this round, so he can't get it back. But I can understand wanting to get out of that pressure string. He doesn't have the resources to do counter assault or DP unlocked.
Ooh, that run and throw was risky. Wow. JC hitbox.
Oh, gets caught backdashing with the Terumi 6C, and then RCs it to get him to the corner.
Terumi in active flow, 50 meter. Maybe not going to kill quite yet, but next hit definitely does. Ooh, gets the reset off of the 214B, if I remember correctly, and manages to close it out with super.
Convincing looking round from DGF, and has a big OD lead now because Uzumaki isn't going to have his for quite a little bit in this round.
Yeah, that was a crazy pace change from DGF, but Uzumaki's still sticking to that forward jump JB. OD's again on the 6C. At this point, we've seen this like 3 times already.
DGF getting a lot of meter here, sitting with 93 meter and getting active flow, so he's pretty much guaranteed to get OD back. Ooh. Rolling out of the 2D, but not getting anything out of it, unfortunately. DGF still gets to start his turn and catches him low, presumably trying to jump out.
Probably, yeah. Ooh, burst already back for Uzumaki. Has a lot of health to work with, given that Susanoo has about, what is it, 12k?
12.5 actually is the second most after Taker.
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
Catches him with a raw 6B, resets with the overhead. Maybe it could pop OD here to kill, but I don't think he can at this point.
It's not like he went into Grand Viper here. Wants to make it on the next knockdown here.
Oh,
counter super!
This is gonna hurt.
Gets the RC there. Oh my goodness. With OD on the deck?
OD, oh, is this man dead?
With the loop?
No way.
No, he's not dead. He's not dead. No.
Okay.
Oh, resets with overhead. No!
And DGF takes it, and actually a kind of a nail biter. After that first round, I was like, oh, DGF's got this free, but they really went down to last touch there, huh?
Oh my goodness, that's so rough. You hate to see it, especially when they pop overdrive, so then you just notice that Uzumaki still had OD available. But DGF DGF with really great awareness, popping the OD immediately to seal that away.
Yeah, I think that was really good. I think he wasn't ready for DGF to, he did the 5A, and then he reset into the overhead.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. What a match.
And it looks like next up, we're going to have Photon versus Jiuken. Photon is a Rachel player, like I said before. But they also have a Naoto, a Ragna, a Hazama, and a Kagura. So he could switch to anything. I think normally he opts to switch to Naoto because I know Photon loves that big boy damage.
Yes, I remember playing through a couple of his characters. He plays each of them very well.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this about Rachel, but that character will melt you. If she has resources, the thing that fools people is that they see the number on the screen and they're like, oh, 5k off of a Fatal, that's not that much. But because she has the little Rachel lunchboxes that poison you over time, she can actually stick out 4 or 5 of those during some combos, and they each take 500 unscaled damage. So you can have the number on screen be 6k and TOD Ragna with that.
That's hilarious.
I have seen, me and Ben like to joke, Photon, we go, Ragna's a 6k character because he has a rap that he posted where he TODs Ragna with 6k.
That's amazing. I'm actually really curious to see what the counterpick wars look like for this because I have no idea if either of them are.
Easy.
Oh my god.
He's memeing on us. I don't think he's gonna do it. I think he's memeing on us.
No, I don't think he's memeing.
If he's in the chat, he's gonna do it now. I'm
Definitely
calling him out.
He's definitely not.
Do
memeing.
it.
He's not memeing. Okay. Because there's so many characters, both of them can pick and counterpick on each other. This is
gonna go back and forth.
Oh my god.
Oh, he heard me. He heard me. He's in the chat.
He went for the easy way. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, I mean, this is battle of the top tiers right here. I would say both of these characters are top 5 personally. Izuyoi is really strong and she's got good options, but she does have to get a game plan online a lot faster. Like she has to do more to get her really nasty stuff going than Rachel does, who can kind of just she just has to hit you once and then she can start doing the unreactable high lows.
Yeah, I think the other aspect of it is that Izuyoi requires a really, really good pilot, and I'm not entirely sure how much experience.
Toito, are you about to throw shade at Jiuken?
I'm not gonna throw shade at Jiuken.
I can't believe Toito's saying Jiuken's Izuyoi is washed up. Unbelievable, my co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not saying he's washed up. I'm just saying I'm not sure how much experience he might have in this matchup. If he's picking Izuyoi, I'm sure he's confident and knows how to deal with it.
And now, I will say, while this is going, Jiuken getting his game plan going, already having 4 stocks, but Photon has a ton of experience as one of his main training partners is actually an Izuyoi player.
Yeah.
And so getting full corner carry from here off of this. Oh, opting out of it, catches the rolls with George, Jiuken bursting out.
So I definitely believe in Jiuken as a player, and I'm not saying that.
You don't have to defend this.
Jiuken, people are gonna make fun of me. But the point is that I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be a lot of matchup-specific situations that Jiuken might be familiar with.
Jiuken counter-assaulting out of the low there. That's a good choice because Rachel can reset pressure there with some of her specials. When you see Rachel at that spacing, a lot of times she's going to go for that instant overhead. Winding to keep Jiuken mostly in the corner, even with that air dash out. Gets to start his turn by putting the bat on him, hits him with the lightning, and then catches him. This could be death if he can confirm this.
Oh my goodness.
This will kill if he does not drop.
This is probably like double super. Oh, got the poison, I believe.
Yep, he gets the poison out. He got it out again, and then there's the super. So that super does almost no damage, but you use it to do the wind inputs to blow the bats through your opponent. Because the actual super's minimum damage is like 400 or something absurdly low.
Yeah, because it goes up with the lightning rods, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it goes up with lightning rods. The more of those you have, the more damage it can do as well.
Yeah.
Ben doing a good job playing the neutral, but getting caught out by Jiyukin. Jiyukin getting 6 stocks, 8 stocks. So now they can go into gain art, something that we did not get to see last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm really curious to see how his gain art...
Air grabs Photon for jumping out. This is going to hurt.
Ooh, this is great damage goes for that. Oh, tried to teleport behind. Yep, opting to use the D projectile and the D teleport, which is very common for pretty much any Izuyoi player. It's practically a staple of the character, I would say.
Yeah, that's one of the big things there. Bursting out here, doesn't want to take it from Rachel.
Ooh, still gets to teleport behind you.
Photon doing a good job blocking, getting hit though. It looks like this could... No, this isn't going to kill. Izuyoi's out of stock, so she's got to go back into normal mode now. This is actually scary.
Oh, especially with that counter hit right there.
Great anti-air, and now Photon gets to run Rachel mix.
Time for set play, unless you get the Farizer right there.
Oh, the Farizer was a great choice, because DP definitely would have whipped. But Jiyukin now going into round 3 with no OD, and Izuyoi's OD is a very, very strong tool to have access to.
Yeah, especially against Rachel, who can definitely seal you out at neutral.
Oh, great air-to-air from Photon, but no confirms they get hit. Mashing out.
Good 2A mash right there.
Throwing out George, starting their turn. Let's see.
Instant overhead.
Instant overheads again. Great blocks from Jiyukin, honestly.
I would have cracked by now, to be honest.
Oh my gosh. IAD's over Rachel's button to catch the jump outs.
Oh. Went into the DP stance and then canceled out of it. Alright.
Photon bursting Jiyukin into the corner, but still can't keep him there. It's hard to pin gain arts down.
Yeah. Ooh, it's with the JC right there.
Getting hits here. Oh, instant overheads. This is going to hurt.
This is close to death. I think at this point, next hit kills.
I think that, well, it's kind of hard with no stock, so depending on the hit, it might not. Does get it, though.
And then Jiyukin says, no stocks, no problems.
Jiyukin's Izuyoi kind of nice, despite what Toledo says.
Hey. I am fully well and realize that I'm just wrong. And that happens. And that's A-okay.
I'm interested to see how Ben adapts to this, or Photon, rather. Because Jiyukin, I don't know how, I'm sure they have a decent amount of experience fighting Rachel, but like you said, maybe not with this character necessarily. I wonder how much of this, Ben plays one of our other local players, Roan, who's played a lot of Izuyoi, and sometimes when you have a training partner for your character, and you play someone else that plays that character, you're on, like, the wrong layers. Like, maybe he's playing against Roan right now, and Jiyukin isn't playing Roan, so he's losing. So let's see how he adjusts to some of Jiyukin's options.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it works out. I think Jiyukin's experience is definitely actually factoring in very, very well, because we see, especially in his defense, like, the way how he blocks Photon is really, really clean.
He does a very, very good job of kind of understanding what Rachel wants to go for at any given time. So it's going to be up to Ben to kind of layer it now that he's seen that the level 1 or the layer 1 Rachel stuff isn't working out for him.
Yeah, especially like the percentage of like blockades and overheads. It's kind of nuts, actually.
Yeah, it's just guess right in every single one of them because you are not reacting to that, especially not on net.
Heck no.
Let's see. Ooh, baits the. That was a great counter poke. Doesn't quite get to confirm. Gets poked out trying to go for the low.
Yeah, that was super good. I didn't even notice like those slight walk back coming in from Photon.
Photon's really, really good at those round start counter pokes. He blows me up with them all the time. But Jiyukin now has max stocks, but gets in, gets bursted.
Yeah, I think that's really good that you managed to get the burst off of Izuyoi.
That means that even if he loses this round, he'll at least have a pretty significant advantage in the next one. Doing a good job blocking Izuyoi stuff, but that is +4. You can't do much there.
Yeah, 3C, really strong button to pull out, especially if you think people are going to play
That is actually 2C.
2C, oh.
3C is, and Gain Arts is the slide.
Right.
All right, let's see. Round start. Ooh, trying to jump over the 5B, doesn't quite get it. Jiyukin not really getting too many stocks here.
Ooh. 4 stocks, I think, is still pretty good to work
but
with.
keeps getting the air hit, so he's having trouble confirming it. That's unfortunate.
And the difficult part of this is that I think that Photon's having a really hard time navigating around some of...
Oh, you spoke too soon. That was some good navigation.
I swear, yeah, that was really, really great job. Really, really great job there.
Instant overhead hits this time.
Got it. All right.
Gets the knockdown. We're going to put George. Stop all of the options, pretty much.
Yep.
Can even cover DP here.
Bats on deck.
Stock 2 goes low. Wow. I think that might have been meant to be DP there and got slashed by mistake. That was an interesting C-slash. Very surprised that worked out.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's getting the champion.
Chair is kind of a risky option. It doesn't work against a lot of Izuyoi stuff very well. And instant overhead JA. Rachel's not the only one who can do those. Great anti-air. Rachel has a very, very strong anti-air, and you're going to see why here. A lot of damage, big hitbox, puts her in the corner. Well, I guess more setup than damage.
Oh, blocks
the Farizer. George goes in for the punish.
That was a really great win there to move George in position to get that. Because Rachel herself could not move in close enough to punish the Farizer from that range.
Now, is Ben going to kill 100 meter here? This could do a lot.
I think so.
Look at that health bar go down. Doesn't quite get it, but does get that set up TRM.
Yeah, that was a great setup.
Photon taking his first round saying, I am still in this. We're not done yet.
New England trying to fight on right now.
Ooh, gets anti-aired by Jayuken.
63 BBF?
Yes, it's BDP. She does not have a one-button anti-air like most other characters. It's one of the few weaknesses Izuyue has. Look at that, Abare. Photon getting a good confirm here, getting a knockdown, throwing down George. Doesn't cover the delay DP though. 8 stocks for Jayuken. Yep, calling out the projectiles is a lot harder to throw those at Rachel once Gainarts is online.
Ooh, getting clipped up by Izuyue's instant overheads right here.
Mashing out, but not getting a confirm.
Just
Gonna have to burst. Gonna have to burst. But gets his turn off of that burst because of the placement of the bats.
Oh my goodness, I am so nervous to see like an air throw. Oh, okay, yep, really just opts to jump after him. Jump out, but gets crossed up.
Jayuken doing a really good job throwing out those regular projectiles and then teleporting behind Photon, trying to throw his own out to cover it.
Yeah, trying to be very efficient with the stock usage and just banking it up because next hit kills regardless, so might as well just start your turn at the worst.
Yeah, it's true. So that means we see Jayuken versus DGF next on winner's side.
I believe so.
And then right now in losers, it looks like it's going to be Orgard versus Photon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the winner of that is going to fight the winner of Uzumaki Hero and Ryukasim.
Ooh, that would be a fun time to watch.
And then the winner of that is going to fight the loser of this to see who gets out. Because winner of this makes it out top 8 winner's side.
Yeah. Actually, and also, I want to highlight the fact that Ryukasim's actually in losers. Photon himself actually sent Ryukasim down there. So if they get the run back, that'll be really interesting to see. Maybe guess at what adaptations were made going into that set. Especially depending on the characters that Ryukasim might have thought of and Photon might have thought of to use there.
Yeah, I think that'll be really interesting to see. One thing I want to point out, though, is the only way NE is going to make it out of this pool is through loser's side, because the only 2 left, Uzumaki and Photon, are both on loser's side right now, so definitely an out-of-stater making it out on winners.
Yes, the invasion of NE has truly begun in a pretty crazy fashion, I would say, so far. We've seen a lot of the out-of-staters do a pretty damn good job of navigating their way through our players and trying to make adaptations and all that. This obviously isn't to say that NE has gone out with a whimper. I would say that NE has done pretty solidly throughout the sets.
These are really good players. If you're going to lose to players, I'd pick these.
Yes, I would not be mad if I got sent to losers by Jayuken.
I would just like to specify for everybody, this is still going to be 2 out of 3. We are not doing 3 out of 5 until top 8.
Yes.
Not at the beginning of top 8. It's still going to be regular, like top 3 is going to be the only 3 out of 5 matches. So all of pools is 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Anyway, if Jayuken, if you're listening, tear me mirrors, let's go.
No, okay, we're going to see the Carl now, which is really...
I mean, I'm never going to complain about getting to see Carl in a match that I'm not in.
That I'm not in. Oh my god, you are...
I see it's Carl in my games, boo. Carl in someone else's games,
hey! So we've seen the Amane so far. Did we see the Tsurumi earlier?
We saw Amane, we saw Izuyue, and now we're finally seeing Carl.
We've seen 3 characters already in... 3 games, actually, now that I think about it.
And we've seen every Jayuken game on stream because he keeps on staying in winners, and that's what we're streaming.
If you keep on winning, yeah, I mean, you might as well pop up on screen. Jeez. So I'm curious to see what ends up happening here. Yeah, so we got Tsurumi versus Carl. Obviously, if Tsurumi gets in the blender, it's a rough time.
It's scary, but Carl gets to get the neutral run down, putting him in the corner already, bursting. Yeah, that's too scary. With no other resources available to you, Carl just gets to run it.
Yeah, you do not want to deal with the momentum shift there. I think DGF's trying to like stay planted in front of Nirvana just to make sure that A, he doesn't get sandwiched, and B, he gets the opportunity to hit Nirvana with whatever he does.
The hit grab!
Yeah, so Con Anima is actually a really great move because it's, if I remember correctly, it's a head, body, and foot guard point. So you tend to use it if you think that people are going to opt to beat up Nirvana or try to navigate around.
I'm going to take one moment to talk about that OD there because Sis was dead, so Jayuken mostly just popping that to get his sister online so he can run this mix-up. And is that the unblockable? I don't know.
50-50.
50-50, okay, my bad.
Yeah. He opted to use the air dash in order to get the, I think the double overhead there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Convincing first round from Jayuken.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna start it out, get Sis going, getting a good catch early. Gonna put DGF into the corner, it looks like.
Ooh, time to see some 50-50s and unblockable.
And some damage. Oh, the mix-up is grab.
Oh my goodness. When you're used to the high-low, you opt to throw straight up. Ooh, that was like triple overhead right there. Oh my gosh.
DGF just standing up. He's like, you're not going to go low. But this time he does.
Oh, goodness gracious. That low was crazy. Yep, once again, opting to stay planted in front of Nirvana to try to punish...
Carl only combo. Sis coming in for the last hit, though. Kill stealing Carl for round 1.
Kill secured for Nirvana.
pretty good though. Carl is a scary character.
Yeah, it is rough. I feel like honestly, each time with the game with the round starts there, it was DGF backing up and respecting Carl's buttons.
And Carl going, sis, get in there.
Going like, oh, you're giving me screen positioning?
Go,
Cool.
my sister.
Just
Hold
like,
down the neutral.
Hold down the neutral, please. But yeah, the Confuokas there especially were very strong. I'm interested to see how DGF might want to handle it, because Confuoko can be low profiled by certain buttons. I'm not sure if Terumi 3C is in particular.
I don't think
low
so.
profile.
Terumi actually is. So I play this matchup against Spooky a lot, and he always complains because Terumi doesn't have a good low profile for any of Tsubaki's buttons. So I'm going to imagine that he probably doesn't have one for Confuoko.
Yeah, that on top. Ooh, Hazama switched.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I wonder if we're going to see him switch to Hazama, because after that last round, I wouldn't want to play Terumi in that matchup again either.
I would want to switch off, and I think Hazama's especially good because you get to just pretty much dodge Carl in neutral, and either A, wait for a situation that's favorable, or B, you wait up on stocks while Carl probably just ends up using up a bunch of doll meter.
Hazama able to play a lot more defensively in this neutral situation, maneuvering around Doll, making Carl spend resources without actually having to give up too much himself. Definitely a better neutral position than Terumi, I would imagine.
Yeah, so one thing I'm very curious about is to see how crazily, maybe not necessarily how crazy, I'm curious to see how Jukin deals with DGF, especially when stocks are gone.
I'm interested to see how DGF plays Hazama, because I've never seen his Hazama.
Ooh, apparently he's going to get caught up straight up, and we're going to see a similar sight, the blender's beginning.
Or in the corner, gets caught low, just punches him in the face, and then punches him in the face, but bursts. Jukin into the corner, Jukin trying to roll out.
Almost got hit by the Brio right there, yep, and Carl said, oh, okay, bet, I'm just going to charge up on doll meter right there. Oh, that's actually a very strong option from Hazama, because he can just special cancel into stance, actually, and not spend the stock on the A follow-up.
Interesting. I did not know that. Ooh,
Yeah.
Getting the grab reset, but getting teched into the corner, flying out, smacking Carl. No confirm, unfortunately.
Yeah, so...
Ooh, great pickup. Wow, that was really cool.
Ooh, good micro dash on the 5B, and we're going straight to the corner. Up J-Majin.
All right, let's see. Counter assaults him out. Carl's dangerous defense not quite coming in, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, goodness, that was very, very close.
Good dodge.
Ooh.
Almost getting sandwiched, but reverse air button knocks him back into it.
Yep, gets hit with the Allegretto's reverse hitbox. Okay. Going straight to the air. Time for some mix-ups.
Hitting with the
Sandwich
overhead.
situation.
This looks like death.
Oh,
And
boy.
no curses today. I know you've been labbing Hazama this week, so you know more about this character than I do now.
In some respects, I'm honestly, I got washed. But there's a couple of situations that I think are understandable that I think I can at least guess at what.
Ooh, just smacking him out of the air. No chains for you, buddy.
It's caught up there. And there's the Vivace. So Vivace doll move is actually a really strong Oki option because either A, you catch a roll, or B, you end up going to cross up and then hit somebody on the way. Especially with like Vivace 2D because it locks down so well.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a really powerful option, but getting tagged by Ball, and now you're going to be hit by Carl. Sis dead, though. There's no more sister going on here. But Carl does have the OD, but doesn't get the Carl only confirmed.
You can solo Carl is also nothing to scoff at. Oh, that was such a smart Vivace involved through the chain. He's building up this doll meter so cleanly, and oh my goodness.
Getting put in the corner, jumping out. That's good. Tries to go for command grab there.
I'm not entirely sure. Ooh, pops the burst.
And then Sis gets you.
Yep.
Bursts you right into Sister's arms. And there we go. Jukin takes it 2-0. That means that he is going to be the first person in top 8 fighting for the $300.
Yep, and our first out-of-stater to make it out of pools, straight up.
I mean, the first person to make it out of pools, period.
Sorry, let me clarify. First person to make it out of pools and an out-of-stater to boot.
As DGF, however, will have his chance to make it out on loser's side. Let's take a look at what the bracket looks like. We still got to run Photon versus Orgard and Uzumaki versus Ryuta-san, it looks like.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so we're going to be getting next? It looks like we're gonna have a quick halt here because I think some of the matches are still finishing up before we have our next one. So we don't have the results here at the TO desk yet for Photon versus Orgard and Uzumaki versus Ryuka-san.
Mm-hmm.
So once we have those, I imagine we'll have our losers semis, and then the winner of that fights DGF for the loser spot in top 8.
Yeah, so let's go over a couple of the matches, at least that we might expect. You know, some of the players and what their paths have been, I suppose, would be like a pretty good way to think through it right now.
Yeah, I think that we got some time. Let's talk about the bracket.
So far right now, actually we got our first result coming in.
Oh, it looks like Beauregard beat Photon.
2-0 too.
Wow, that's impressive. Photon's no slouch.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how that panned out. So we're gonna have either Beauregard versus Uzumaki or Beauregard versus Ryukusen.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary matchup because Hakumen versus Susanoo is big boy damage hours.
Yes.
Battle of the big booties.
So either either way, Beauregard has to deal with a very high damage character. I think if I'm Beauregard, I probably want Susanoo.
Between those two, I want Susanoo.
I do
because
not
Hakumen
want-
seems miserable for New 13. He gets to one touch you,
Yeah,
and then he can also smack all of your swords away.
Oh yeah, and he gains meter for it. So then he's just starting to dash up and just do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that can be really scary. And also, what's it called? The shield charge.
The Yanagi.
Yanagi, right through your swords and hit you. I know we saw a lot of Ryukusen. That's actually a lot of how Ryukusen won against Zack One Star the previous week. Is they would Yanagi through the staff and then grab Lechi on the other side. And that's actually like a pretty good situation too, because even if he doesn't actually catch, he has full invuln through recovery, so you cannot punish him for that Yanagi. At best, you can medium, and mediating Hakumen is the scary situation. That's my least favorite part of that matchup is when I have to media that character.
Can't believe I have to RPS on my own offense.
I play against Hakumen, and I'm like, man, this matchup's fine in neutral, it's fine on defense, but as soon as I gotta start my turn, I don't like it anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, I have an easier time. You know, I play Bullet, so I get the command grab and just use that as
You
kinda
say
like,
that until you get TK Tsubaki'd for 7k.
Okay, that's an inferior point.
You're not holding mix, you're just holding different mix.
Yes, I suppose it's more so that the risk reward is a little less tilted out of my hands, per se, for characters with command grabs. New, of course, doesn't have a command grab. That character would be a little crazy if he did.
Actually, I don't. When would she use it? She gonna run up from full screen and command grab you?
I guess Lambda would have a way better time with a command dash. Who Aura actually does play a bit too.
Aura does have the Lambda. We could see Lambda. I know Aura also has, at least in the past, played Jin in U12. I think they're focusing on 11 and 13 right now, but I'm not 100%.
Yes, I believe they were practicing a decent amount of Mew recently. I'm not sure if Aura has deemed it tournament ready per se, but it is a pretty strong character. I think very difficult to get a handle of it and learn, so I'm not sure how quickly that's been maybe sped up. I haven't actually played Aura in a while, so I couldn't really give any
I've only played against Aura's 13 lately, which solid as always. That doesn't give me as much insight. I know I played a little bit of that against their Jin. I'm not sure how that would go. I also I don't know. If I would want to play Jin versus I don't want to play anyone versus Hakumen.
I doubt. But
no, I just play Tager. We could just play. It's just the gotcha matchup.
I see.
You both. Every time everyone wakes up, both players flip a coin, and if it's heads, Tager wins. If it's tails, Tager wins.
Gosh. Yeah, spend stocks on your rolls, I guess. So one of the other things I'm actually curious about is how some of these matchups work with Lambda, at least. Because I'm not necessarily sure how they might work out.
It's a little bit better, but I think the fundamental problems are still there for Hakumen. Those fundamental problems against Hakumen don't get solved by Lambda's new tools. Lambda's got a little bit better against characters that she needs to pressure on offense and stuff where she can't throw swords as much. But Hakumen's still got great tools for controlling neutral, and he can just chill out and build meter. He doesn't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
He just gets full meter, and then eventually you try to hit him, and he guesses right and kills you.
Yeah, I suppose some of the tools that maybe Lambda would opt to use is maybe just like her command dash in order to see if maybe blowing up some reckless drive usage or something. But even then, that still gets blown up by Yanagi, now that I think about it.
Yeah, Yanagi will catch that. They can do Panic Nail out of that command dash, but that won't beat Yanagi, although at least probably doesn't get you punished. I can't say I've seen that interaction myself before.
Possibly. It actually depends. Because Hakumen can special cancel out of drives whenever they connect with a projectile, actually. And because Panic Nail is considered a projectile, technically my immediate assumption is that Hakumen could legitimately press just 5D and then Enma and cancel.
Yeah, that is very possible. Also, I will say, now that it is 3, I believe Pool B is starting as well.
Yes, if I remember correctly, then Pool B, then Pool B will be starting up soon, yes.
Yeah, so Pool B, if it's not live now, will be live shortly on the BBBO official stream. We will be hosting that once we are finished here. But I think if you want a dual stream, you should be able to see both.
Yes, that would be That'd be pretty fun to see. And if I remember correctly, the commentary desk actually on deck for there is, I believe it's Photon and Yage.
It should be Photon and Yage, which maybe that though too. Maybe Photon dropped. I don't know. Let me ask.
I'm not sure. I doubt that the Photon would just drop straight up.
Well, I mean, they have commentary duties. They might have just dropped to do that.
Mayhaps. I'm not entirely sure. Okay.
All right, looks like we're getting Orgard and Uzumaki.
Okay, so we got the favorable matchup. It's not Hazama.
Yeah, I mean, you mean Hakumen? I wouldn't have been Hazama either way. It might be if they win.
It might be Hazama later on. That's actually really impressive for Uzumaki taking down Ryukusen.
I see those as players of relatively equal skill. So I guess I'm not surprised, but I wouldn't have been surprised personally either way. But gotta shout out the boy Uzumaki.
Shot him out. I would say perhaps maybe not like entirely shocking, but respectable and a good job and a good win to solidify his strength.
So here we have New England versus honorary New England
Yeah.
to try and get out of pools on loser's side.
I think Aura's done the 3 trials to get into New England. I think they purple thrown me.
They must have.
Probably. I definitely got me.
I will say though, Orgard has a boatload of Susan experience. I know they play with Ice Cool and Adroth, and I don't know if Uzumaki has any 13 experience because all of mine is Aura.
Yeah.
And I don't think these players play very often.
Yeah, I doubt that they actually interact too much in terms of playing games with each other casually.
Yeah, I don't think Uzumaki doesn't play too many casuals during the week. He's usually like here to be a bracket monster, honestly, and he tears it up every week. So
yeah, he does. He does well.
All right, I love the I don't like the big green Susan intro. I like the one where Terumi gets in the suit way more personally.
Yes, that one is. I think both are great.
Ooh, 6A's through the sword, but just gets hit.
Did the sword eat the 6A?
That is, well, the 6A ate the sword. They're both P2s. They trade.
Oh wow, okay, that's actually really good for New then. Now that I think about it,
it can be depending on the situation.
Like depending on the sword that comes out, of course.
Uzumaki getting out of here, backing off. Getting the air dash in. It's a little bit too slow for the anti-air.
Oh, good
reversal super. Wow.
Command dash is out. Gravity well set up. Susan already has bad mobility as is. Gravity well makes it even
great
worse.
Blocks until they get opened up by the 3rd overhead. No lows. All overheads.
Ooh, great sickle right there.
Good blocks from Uzumaki. Taking their time.
Gravity well set up. You gotta hold that. At this point, Orgard is more than a little comfortable sitting at full screen and just shooting at projectiles.
Getting hit. Too comfortable. Blocks the overhead.
Yep.
Counter assaults out. Still gets hit by that JA.
Oh boy, we're going straight to the corner with Grand Viper and level 2 wheel.
Let's go. Goes for wheel, gets the hit, doesn't confirm it. Gets the EA. So something that's really important for Susanoo in this matchup is unlocking Sword is a big deal because the Sword Super can actually punish every single sword that 13 can throw and does big damage too.
Yeah, that's actually really good now that I think about it.
Oh, gets caught just a little bit too close, doesn't quite make it into the dead zone, or too far away rather.
Knocks straight to full screen, gravity well set up. Now you gotta hold even more.
Gets left right in, tries to burst, doesn't get the hit off of it though, so not too scary. Tries to jump out of the overhead, doesn't make it. Blocks the anti-airs.
Oh, that was really good drive usage there from Orgard to lock down Uzumaki on the way down. Good blocks coming in.
Oh, wow. Orgard calling that bluff.
Oh, that was so good. And no seals unlocked for Susan either. This is a really awkward situation. No really like get out of jail free card or blow up neutral tool on the deck for Susan right here. And set to full screen again. Oh, this is looking rough.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. Orgard dashing under Uzumaki. Not going to kill here, but next touch will, and that was next touch.
Death, probably.
Yeah, this is going to be double super. Worst case. It doesn't even make it to double super.
So one of the things that Aura does that I really respect a lot is that they are super, super willing to call out your movement tools and how you approach and use a variety of tools in order to dash under or dash over or get through you in order to set up the full screen on the other side.
Yeah, I think that's one of the keys to 13's matchups is she doesn't get a lot of damage and her mix-up is a little bit lacking. So she's really got to play really, really strong neutral, which she does have the tools for, but also she has to have a good knowledge of the opponent's movement tools and how to get around them.
Yeah, especially with the command dashes there. Even on like a simple knockdown, it was just command dash, full screen, gravity well set up, I'm going to do whatever. And manages to back off like very well. One thing that I know Aura does in particular, and you kind of have to do this as new, is that they really like to go for counter assault on defense. Aura was only put in the position to use counter assault once.
Yeah, that's a good note to make. I think counter assault obviously being a very strong mechanic for a 13, a character with limited reversal options of their own, other than an excellent backdash, which doesn't do much in the corner, obviously.
Yeah.
Jumping
That's
over.
right
Ooh,
there.
catches the anti-air.
Ooh, let's see how this turns out. The momentum is definitely in Uzumaki's favor, but Burst is still on deck for Aura-Guard, and Aura will pop that.
Oh no, that 2C was just short. If it had hit a different button there, he definitely would have gotten a really strong hit. But he does have the Grand Viper unlocked, which means that any hit will lead to good damage.
Yeah, and
Jumping out of that,
and more
very
or less the
strong.
seal of like choice.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best first seal. Sword might be a little bit better in this matchup specifically, but Grand Viper is still a really strong pick. Because look at this, we're getting a Grand Viper, no meter needs to get spent here.
And opts for real, alright, wants to get a little bit of mix-up with certain strings.
Counter assaulting out of 6B, very weak to counter assault, unfortunately.
Yeah, one of the things that I would love to see Uzumaki try to do is honestly just bait out counter assaults, either just through like jumping in the middle of pressure, because I think JC is still a really good hitbox.
It's actually very hard for Susan to do that. Susan doesn't have a lot of jump cancelable normal. So the main way that he's going to bait counter assaults is by hitting a button by 5B, and then not following it up and standing in the whiff range for counter assault.
Oh, I see. On block, it's also on block counter assault is very minus.
Oh, great 6A. That's the situation where it works out way better for Susan.
Oh, legit just ran it down all the way into the corner. Oh, popped the overhead. Got sword.
Has sword this time. This is a big deal. Gets to do the good routes.
Oh, and then unfortunately drops it. Yeah, I wanted to bait out the burst there.
Oh, no. Okay.
Oh, has to pop burst himself.
6A rapid for the run-up.
Honestly, I don't blame him. I think that's a creative use.
I think that's a strong use of that tool, because even if they block, you get to start your turn probably.
Yeah, I've actually don't think I've ever seen a Susan use 6A like that.
That being said, as soon as Uzumaki gets 50 meter, any of these swords is instant death for Aura-Guard, but they're going to be dead. Ooh, not even sooner.
Oh,
Counter assault's
yet.
out. Anything, and it's sword super, and then it's good night 13. Let's see. Any 6A hit too? Oh, getting counter hit. I think that is very 6A.
And you can notice that Aura is starting to play a little bit patiently. Does not want to risk a sword super.
Oh, baits that grab though. That was a big risk for Aura to try and take the round, but Uzumaki just a little bit too quick, getting the round themselves.
I think Aura throughout the set has definitely had the momentum and still has a good amount of burst.
Oh wow, that was so well spaced.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Uzumaki's doing a way better job approaching all of a sudden.
Uzumaki has adapted really fast in all of the sets that we've seen him play.
Oh my goodness.
Great blocks, gets hit low, but there's not really much that you can confirm off of that in that scenario, so not too scary, really.
Yeah.
Susanoo just kind of building meter, chill out.
Oh,
wow!
what?
That was such a good option, and it looks like they're going to unlock wheel, and they have tackle, wheel, DP, and sand kick.
That's actually nuts, by the way, that tackle still had enough momentum despite gravity well to push him just slightly out of there.
Yeah, that was a really, really good use of that tool, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, oh wow, oh my goodness.
This is what I was talking about. Uzumaki's really good at like mixing things up, kind of doing things you won't expect, and then getting them to work out. Ooh. Doesn't get the hit, but gets to start pressure.
Oh, that's awkward.
Nice
nice air dash right there in order to keep
counter assaulted out, jumping out of the pressure, starting their own turn. No meter to counter assault, bursting out, running up.
Ooh, Aura
good
once
run
again
under. Good
just
run
decides
under.
to run under, reset the full screen, hold that.
Left, right with the swords, knocking down full screen. Still no sword on Uzumaki's side. A lot of swords in this matchup. And it looks like
already.
Looks like death.
Ooh, yep, off to RC. Just takes
and there we go. Was that game one?
I actually just.
That was game two. Aura-Guard takes it. That was so stressful. I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. My mind just got wiped from that like entire first game.
That means we're going to get Aura-Guard and DGF to see who makes it out in losers.
So this is either going to be... These are two wildly different matchups that we might see.
Yeah, Terumi definitely, I think, has an easier time in neutral before momentum than Susan. But Susan, obviously, once he has the momentum going, can really steal around from 13. And obviously, there's a lot more damage disparity up front.
Yeah. And on top of that, Hazama does have access to his B follow-up, which is actually projectile invuln for a long time.
Do you think we're going to see Hazama? I kind of assumed we were seeing Terumi.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to lie.
I always just assume DGF's playing Terumi, and then I get surprised when he plays Hazama.
I mean, based on the brackets that we saw DGF last time in bracket, and he...
I don't think we saw Hazama last time.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Oh,
yeah. He just opted to stick to Terumi for the entire time, I believe, even against Zach One Star.
Yeah, I'm a little biased. I do like watching Terumi a bit more. Terumi he's a fun character to watch when he gets to do his thing.
It's fair. I actually find it kind of convenient for the sake of discussion. I really like seeing Hazama, and no, that's not because I mess around in trading mode, do like 3 chain combos. It's part of it.
Towedo Hazama main.
I'm not a Hazama main. I swear.
It sounds like something a Hazama main would say.
No, a Snake player is very proud to make too many Michael Jackson references. Trust me.
Which snake are you adding?
All of them. If you go in the Discord and look at the guides, they literally all mention Michael Jackson in the hat. I swear.
Oh my god.
I'm serious.
I guess I'm missing out by not looking at the Hazama docs.
I mean, it's fine. They actually have really great resources. But that's besides the point. I'm not going to go on that angle.
Tuito catching himself very quickly.
Yes, for once. The point being that I do think that Hazama is honestly unlikely. I think DGF tends to stick to Terumi for a lot of matchups, and then Hazama feels a lot like a backup, based on just what I've seen.
Yeah, it seems like more of a matchup coverage pick. I understand that.
Yeah. But we'll see how things end up panning out for this set coming in. There's also the possibility of seeing Lambda coming out from Aura.
Yeah, it is totally possible, yeah. I feel like in a matchup like that, you stick 13, personally. I guess Masenga's the real tool, right? That's the thing that you got to watch out for Sword.
Yeah, there is also Masenga. So that is also a very good tool to come out with and use over there. Let's see, so we got Masenga going on, which is actually a really good super. DP super actually really isn't that useful. It's also Chain Super.
I mean, it is still a DP.
Yes. Honestly, I'm not going to
Chain Super is going to be funny as fuck. You could take 8k for that.
The worst part is I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a Chain Super.
You see a sword come out, I was like, woo! Does that have invuln?
Because
I know it has a huge dead zone in front of him, so I don't know if it has invuln.
I have zero clue. All I know is that every time I see Chain Super, I'm like, are you kidding me? And then somebody gets blown up. Especially in OD, like the damage is like kind of...
Yeah, in OD, he could combo it into EA as well. And so if he's in active flow, like, you just take 8k.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Terumi in OD regardless.
OD through sword, Chain Super, EA win the round.
Now that I'm thinking about it, based on just Terumi's, resource gain in general when it comes to meter, I would imagine Masenga being a really great tool in neutral, if only because you gain the meter back pretty quickly.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
regardless.
Terumi definitely gets, especially if you can IB the swords. Terumi can get meter on defense in this matchup pretty quickly, just IBing swords all day.
Yeah, on top of that, New doesn't really have that much health to work on, so, like, what are you really missing out if you can't, pop your meter for, like, a little bit extra damage?
Yeah, this is probably, like, a two-touch matchup for Terumi if he gets the right 2 hits.
It's very much so possible. It really depends on, I think, resources. But I'm really excited to see what we get coming on here. It looks like Orgard is ready and raring to go, and so is DGF. And this will be our final match of Pool A.
This is the last match of Pool A. After this, we're going to host the main BBBO Twitch for Pool B, and then we will see you back here at 4 for Pool C.
Yes, that should be a really great time.
All right, looks like we are going to get Terumi versus 13.
Why do you call it 13?
Because I keep forgetting which robot is which, and the number is way easier for me to say.
I get them all.
It's Moo and New, and I always say the wrong one, so I just say 13 now.
See, we're like mirror images because I get the numbers mixed up all the time.
Oh, well. See, the robots that are similar playstyle-wise are 11 and 13, and they're Lambda and Moo or New. I think it's... Is it?
What are you even talking about? It's just LMN. Greek alphabet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But that doesn't... I don't speak Greek.
Why am I even talking about Greek?
What?
Okay.
All right. Listen, let's talk about what's really going on here. This color aesthetic. We got matching colors with the background for both players.
I thought you were going to talk about the match. Okay, round start, we're going to see Terumi dashing in, which makes a lot of sense in this setting. Orgard getting caught out, actually, by the 5B, I believe, or was that 5C?
I like that Terumi walk forward, then jump to bait the sword.
Yeah.
That's a good option. I should start doing that.
But yeah, in general, I think Terumi's run speed and just his general neutral tools are going to be really, really exciting to see. I do believe that Gravity Well usage is also going to be really important here in order to shut Terumi down.
That's true.
Some approaches. Obviously,
Terumi, both characters with 50 meter now, which means Masenga on the table.
Oh, sets the Gravity Well right in front of him and then just opts to back off and just waits for DGF to come into contact with it. And once again, yeah.
Well, there's the Masenga that we were talking about.
Oh, try to bait the burst. Do you want to keep a Masenga counter?
Oh, counter felt out, but Terumi already at 35 meter again.
And already dashing up through the Gravity Well.
ODing through sword, but...
Gets called out anyway with the low. Gets called out again.
50 meter back on deck. Are we going to see Masenga too?
Ooh, every time he jumps up, I keep getting nervous. I think Orgard is very much so aware of it and decides to kind of back off and use a little bit less of New's drive.
Yeah, I think that's a smart choice, but Masenga 2 gets blocked this time. There you go.
Yeah,
Orgard adapting.
Already, within the first round, mind you. That's a fast adaptation to make.
That was really strong from Orgard.
Yeah, Aura and DGF definitely showing that they understand the tools each character can use in the matchup, and both of them adapting to each other very quickly.
I think that was good. This is what good Blaze Blue looks like.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Catches them out for the 3C. Great call out from BGF. Gets to keep going. Carries to the corner. Gets 30 meter. Ooh.
Calls out the delay tech.
That's a lot of meter for Terumi. Already is sitting at 50.
Building up even more.
Gets the 50 to confirm the overhead, and this is going to be some damage.
Yeah, keep in mind, even blocked drives still gain great meter for Terumi.
And Terumi back at 60 meter already.
Oh my goodness. And given the way how DGF is showing that J2D, I think it's a great way to call out counter assaults from Aura.
I think this is round.
This is round.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be it.
Yeah.
In the steppies, and then kick him in the corner.
Steppies?
Yeah, he uses the steps on him a bunch.
How many steps do you think he gets in just from stops?
Probably a lot. That's why you just see Terumi in the gym
just doing stops.
Doing the leg press with one leg at a time.
I'd imagine. But yeah, I also want to highlight Aura's very patient with burst usage there.
Yeah, I think that was good saving it for this round. They were down by far enough. You definitely don't want to use it in that situation.
Yeah, in other matchups, I have often seen Aura, and news especially, just in general, pop burst like straight up. Meanwhile, Aura's opting to hold on to it for, I guess, a more dire situation in general.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And then 50 meter for Terumi here, just always gets it.
Masenga on deck. Ooh, and there's the burst.
Out there. But yeah, Masenga on deck. Let's see how this changes neutral. It definitely makes it harder for Aura, if nothing else.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, that command dash was so risky. So one thing that I've noticed a lot. Oh, RC? Nope. Oh, run up. What? That's tragic. I think they tried to start their punish early.
Oh,
and they just got clipped by the last hit.
Unfortunate. DGF, though, has 50 meter if they block, like, 2 more swords.
Ooh, goodness. Good counterassault. Counterassaulted straight into the gravity well, too. RC?
That's actually not good for Aura because it keeps DGF in his face. And I think that is going to be the round here.
Oh, my... What? I did not know that confirm even worked. Oh, gets meter.
Super. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, so when the gravity well is up there, counter assaulting can actually be really rough for 13 because it just kicks you into the gravity well, which is still right there, and then you tech, and then you can they have to work a little bit harder. They don't get to kick you full screen and play neutral again like they would normally.
Okay, I see. That's actually a really interesting point. One thing that I've noticed, also, I just want to highlight with some of the neutral interactions here is the way how DGF deals with gravity well in general. One of the things that I've noticed very commonly is that DGF just runs through gravity well.
Yeah, I think that's honestly, once the gravity well gets placed, if you are good about reacting to it and just continuing to do a movement option, if you commit to something while gravity well gets placed, you'll be out of it by the time that Beauregard has a chance to recover, and so you can kind of just play between her and the gravity well, her being 13.
Yes.
And that makes 13 have to commit more options after placing gravity well and showing different things, and then you can start playing that RPS, which because of the damage is pretty Terumi favored.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I would be interested in seeing is whether or not Aura opts to use Spear Super in order to lock down DGF, and then maybe attempt to use Command Dash left rights, maybe as a way to just lock down DGF, especially when he doesn't have the meter in order to use Masenga.
That can be dangerous if Masenga is up, because I believe you can Masenga that on reaction. DGF getting his turn started early though.
Ooh, great backdash.
DGF trying to call it out but not quite getting it, but does call it the 2A mash, or like, alright, we're bursting.
Yeah.
I'm a zoner, get back to neutral.
Away with you, Snake Man.
Good blocks from DGF here, almost at 50 meter again for the Masenga.
Yep, Masenga is now online.
Let's see.
Gravity well set up. Oh, great overhead. Wow. I think Aura's... Oh, I only got the 5B, I guess.
Good hit. Hard to confirm.
Wow.
It catches with the sword, but it drops the combo, so starts getting smacked. Terumi into the corner with meter going into OD.
I think he wants the meter to just go into super.
This actually steals meter from Beauregard, so now he can't counter assault. He's down at 0 meter.
That's so smart, actually. I never even considered that. Gets the damage, too. So this is like 1 or 2 touches anyway, especially with active flow on deck.
Really locks down Aura's defensive options. Ooh, great mash.
Yep. Need to call that out. Terumi opting to go for a bit more of the stagger pressure there and just trying to reset a lot. Beauregard recognizing that he needs to challenge at some point in order to get DGF to back off. Sets the gravity well right in front of him. DGF offering to just dash jump over here. DGF's great movement. Ooh, side swaps, but Beauregard putting himself in the corner here, really awkward. If Terumi gets in...
anti-air on the ground. Big damage for 13.
With super, this is 1 touch from death.
Yeah.
Actually, with... Yeah, I didn't opt to use overdrive.
Masenga online already again.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that with 5B.
Oh,
G2D. I think we're going to see an OD coming in.
Gets the burst. Okay, that means Orgard is not going to have that burst for next round.
Ops
Win or
OD?
lose.
Doesn't even Masenga. Literally just walks in and goes with 5D.
Counter assaults out. Yeah, you always do
Oh.
Masenga there. Masenga rapid.
But he dropped it.
Because he was so committed to rapiding it, he was ready.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so awkward.
Oh, gets caught by the sword. No, that rapid
Oh.
cost DGF the round.
That's so unfortunate to see, but really great job from Orgard to keep that mental fortitude to close that round out.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of times you just kind of give up there, and it's hard to come back, but Orgard managed to do it.
Yeah, and I think one of the big aspects that we're going to see here is that Orgard does not have burst. And I think that's really, I think in terms of burst advantage, I think New not having burst is more important than True.
Ooh, great neutral jump from DGF.
That's it.
Something worth noting too is that when you both spend your resources like that, the person who wins is the one who's going to have less burst the next round.
Yes.
Good hit from Termi, going to get a lot of meter back. Looks like probably 50 on deck again after the knockdown here.
I'm not even sure if Or's going to get the burst meter.
Command grab! And 100 meter doesn't
even
opt
RC.
for rapid. It probably wants to save it for... I mean, Masenga RC looks like a pretty good option here. Gets side swapped though.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good for Orgard. OD on deck, active flow, and got some great meter gain right now. Has low health, so also getting meter
Wake
passively.
up OD. I thought we were going to see Chain.
my
I'm going to be
goodness.
real.
I'm not even sure. I was expecting
Masenga! Let's go! All right, DGF taking it. That's Masenga number 4?
4, I think, yeah.
All right, DGF on set point to make it out on loser's side.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Counter hit 5D.
Oh.
Bursting out of that. Yeah, before
Yeah.
Termi gets 50 meter, too. Makes neutral a lot easier, but Termi going to get that 50 meter anyway, just getting beat up.
Yeah, I think that's one of the rougher things for New at this matchup, because no matter what, even if you're hitting to... Oh, block Masenga. That's 5.
Yeah, 5. Good defense from Aura there.
Oh.
I love how DGF is playing this neutral, though.
Oh, it's so good.
The footsies game, kind of immaculate.
Oh,
Baits the counter
assault.
assault. That's going to be big. 50 meter for Termi. Opts not to spend it. Wants to keep it for pressure.
Ooh.
Gets that big 6C hit here.
Got active flow and probably the meter to work with. Next hit is definitely going to kill.
Even getting through the meter cooldown.
Oh.
And that is next hit. DGF takes it.
Just waiting for that
Just
last
wanted
hit.
to wait. DGF takes it, making it out BBBO Pool A losers side. So we are going to see DGF and Jiyukin in top 8. Excellent showing from Orgard, though. That looked very difficult, and they did an excellent job. But
Yeah.
DGF was just that one extra step ahead.
That was not easy by any means, and that was a really fun and great showing from Orgard. I just want to say that was really fun to see. Unfortunately for New England, only the out-of-staters have made it out of Pool A.
Not even honorary any, unfortunately.
Not even on.
But with that concludes Pool A. So now we are going to move over and host Pool B, which is still going right now. And then we will see you back here in a half hour for Pool C.
Yes, oh, I am super excited to see what we have coming up, what Pool C brings to us.
Yeah, I'm very interested for that. There are a lot of good players in, I mean, every pool, honestly.
Yes, there's so many killers. Even just in this bracket, we saw a lot of highlights of Jiyukin, but Ryukasim and other people, it's been nuts.
Anyway, see you all at Pool C.
See you in half an hour.